A major shakeup in TNA wrestling as several executives are gone from the company, including President Anthony Cicone. We'll let you know all the details on that. Plus, Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Championship against Cope at AEW Revolution has been confirmed. The Hurt Syndicate successfully defended their AEW World Tag Team titles last night on Dynamite. MJF and Hangman Adam Page engage in a brawl after MJF defeats Dustin Rhodes. The Death Riders retained their World Trios Championships last night. AEW announces AEW and Ring of Honor Global Wars in Australia. Harley Cameron and the Monet Puppet drop a new rap video on Dynamite with Mercedes Monet responding. Chris Jericho and Bandido duel on Dynamite. Ricky Stark's next appearance for WWE NXT has possibly been revealed. Just how long Jey Uso had been planned to win the men's WWE Royal Rumble match has been revealed. A United States Championship match reportedly is in the works for the Elimination Chamber premium live events, and several matches and segments have been announced for AEW Dynamite next week. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with major changes in TNA wrestling. Of course, it's already been a very big year and momentous year for TNA. And over the past week, plenty of wrestlers have seen their time and come to an end with promotions with WWE, letting go several notable names, while AEW released 3 wrestlers who had been looking to get out of their deals and one for disciplinary reasons. Yesterday, TNA became the latest promotion to let people go. There was just one big difference. Where WWE and AEW parted ways with talent, TNA parted ways with executives. Fightful Select and PW Insider have been reporting that several notable TNA higher-ups were let go yesterday as part of behind-the-scenes overhaul within the promotion. The most significant departure is that of President Anthony Cicone, who took the position just 1 year ago following the firing of Scott D'Amore. Now, in terms of who is replacing Anthony Cicone, we've actually got details on that, but there are some other names that have also been let go. Josh Matthews is gone from TNA Wrestling, according to Sean Rossap of Fightful Select. Now, Matthews had been with TNA for over a decade, initially as a commentator, as well as working behind the scenes. He then later transitioned into just behind the scenes, but now he is gone from the company. Now, according to Sap of Fightful Select, they've also been told that Christy Hemme is also gone from TNA Wrestling. She'd also been working behind the scenes in the marketing department. Now, George Veras is taking over as executive producer of Anthem Sports Group leadership team. Andrea Paganelli as SVP of marketing, effectively taking over those roles. Mark Brown, a former director of Ring of Honor, will work as director of TNA. Now, there is a statement from TNA saying, quote, "The new TNA Wrestling president is Carlos Silva. George Veras is the new executive producer of the Anthem Sports Group. George is the 10-time Emmy Award-winning president and chief executive officer of Pro Football Hall of Fame Enterprises, as well as president of Veras Communications Incorporated. Josh Matthews and Christy Hemme are no longer with the company. We appreciate their commitment to TNA throughout the years and wish them well in their future endeavors." If we get any more details as to why this shakeup has happened, or any more details on people gone or coming into the company, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, many had predicted it would happen, but now it is confirmed. We have an AEW World Championship main event for AEW Revolution. The Rated R superstar Cope will officially challenge Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship at Revolution on March 9th, after he and Switchblade Jay White took matters into their own hands on AEW Dynamite and stole the briefcase containing the title from Moxley and Marina Shafir. Cope held the title hostage until the end of the show, when he called out Moxley to accept, or he was going to use Spike, his 2x4 loaded with nails, to break open the briefcase. Earlier in the night, White and Cope beat down Moxley with a chair to get their hands on the title and locked Shafir in a closet to get away. The pair then came out to the ring and Cope called out Moxley before retrieving the weapon. He said Moxley needed to come out and accept, or he was going to smash the case and take the title. Moxley came out from the crowd and said Cope was making a huge mistake and that he'd show him how much he actually cares about his AEW World Championship at Revolution. He said he was going to break Adam Copeland's neck. Cope hit the case with Spike multiple times before the Death Riders got in the ring. Pac distracted Cope, Shafir grabbed the case, and Moxley and Pac beat down the Rated R superstar. Moxley grabbed Spike, but Cope hit him with a spear to protect White. They took the weapon out of the ring with them and retreated up the ramp. White got on the microphone and said that Moxley's Revolution match may be set, but before he gets there, they're going to put Moxley and the Death Riders in the ground at Grand Slam during their Brisbane brawl. Now, speaking of Dynamite last night, we saw the first tag team title defense of the Hurt Syndicate. They completed their first defense of their AEW World Tag Team Championships during AEW Dynamite. Having last wrestled in September last year, the Guns returned to AEW last week to answer Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin's call for young and hungry challengers, confirming their first bout back would be doubling up as the champions' first defense since dethroning Private Party in January. The challengers came close multiple times with short bursts of offense interspersed with periods of dominance for the champions. Austin Gunn delivered a famouser to Benjamin for his brother Colton to make the attempted pin, only for a near fall, before tagging himself in to press the advantage. He received a super kick from Shelton Benjamin for his troubles, followed by repeated suplexes before Benjamin tagged Lashley back in to finish things with a spear. Thus concluded the Guns' attempt after 11 minutes of action, failing to capture the titles they held back in 2023. This was the first traditional tag team match for them since May last year, losing against the Lucha Brothers, having wrestled until September in trios action. For the champions, the Hurt Syndicate were stared down as they celebrated by the Don Callis family's murder machines, Brian Cage and Lance Archer, indicating they are next in line for whenever that occurs. The Murder Machines are undefeated as a tag team since they started teaming together in October last year. Now, MJF, it was a busy evening for the former AEW World Champion. After weeks of feuding with more mature wrestlers, MJF has found himself in the crosshairs of AEW's angriest star, Hangman Adam Page. On Wednesday's AEW Dynamite, Page got in a tense war of words with Page backstage ahead of MJF's match against Dustin Rhodes. MJF was victorious over Rhodes, but wasn't satisfied with a mere victory, locking in a Fujiwara armbar after the bell. Hangman Page then attacked MJF, leading to a lengthy brawl that took the former AEW World Champions through the crowd and required multiple security guards to restrain them. Just when it seemed things had calmed down, Page attacked again, further extending the fight between the two. It's not yet clear when these two will face off in a match. Now, MJF, as I mentioned, has been a thorn in the sides of mostly older wrestlers lately. His match with Dustin Rhodes came after his divisive feud with Jeff Jarrett. Page himself was fresh off a quick victory over Max Caster at the beginning of the program. Now, the Death Riders, we spoke about them earlier on. They're still the AEW World Trios Champions. After brutally attacking the Undisputed Kingdom on the February 8th edition of AEW Collision, the Death Riders took to the ring to remind the Undisputed Kingdom and defend their AEW World Trios Championships and remind Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly why they were the top of the AEW World Trios division. The match opened with a six-man brawl, with things only smoothing out into a proper match after the commercial break. The Death Riders isolated both O'Reilly and Strong during their time in the ring to dominate the match, but the tide shifted when Cole was tagged in. The Undisputed Kingdom focused their efforts onto Wheeler Yuta, who was nearly bested after O'Reilly fastened an ankle lock on him following a high and low attack. A barely kept together match unraveled into full-blown chaos when Castagnoli attempted to use a steel chair to free Yuta. As the referee snatched the weapon from Castagnoli's hands, Cole and O'Reilly flattened the Swiss man with two super kicks. In the explosion of mayhem, Yuta managed to sneak in a low blow on O'Reilly before rolling him up to retain the trios titles. The Death Riders attempted another routine post-match beatdown on the Undisputed Kingdom, but were thwarted by the arrival of current TNT champion Daniel Garcia, Daddy Magic Matt Menard, and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. The night continued to go south for the Death Riders as leader John Moxley received a backstage chair shot courtesy of Grand Slam Australia opponent Cope with the help of Switchblade Jay White, and of course, as I mentioned, they stole Moxley's AEW World Championship. Now, speaking of AEW Grand Slam Australia, another event has been confirmed by AEW and Ring of Honor. AEW is bringing back Ring of Honor Global Wars for the February 15th taping in Australia. AEW announced that the Learning Tree, that being Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho, Big Bill and Brian Keith, will face the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum, and Bandido as part of the event. Athena will also be in action as she defends the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Alex Windsor, plus Lee Moriarty will defend his Ring of Honor Pure Championship against Robbie Eagles. The Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships will also be on the line as Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara defend against MXM Collection. Now, Harley Cameron, of course, she's set to face off against Mercedes Moné very, very soon for the TBS Championship, and she continued to get under the skin of the champion last night on AEW Dynamite. Now, Harley Cameron and the Monet Puppet released a new rap song on the February 12th episode of AEW Dynamite, taking aim at Mercedes Moné. Though Cameron and the Puppet took a joking tone with supersonic lyrics during the musical portion of the video, Cameron stopped the song and got real. She called Mercedes one of the greatest wrestlers alive and thanked her for elevating the division and pushing her to work harder. She said she started somewhere in wrestling, playing the guitar, ventriloquism, and learning Chinese. Harley said she was going to win the TBS title in her home country. I don't want to ride the Monet train, I want to drive it, she said. Now, Mercedes Moné offered up the following response on social media, saying, quote, "The bitch thinks she's Eminem now," with some angry emojis. Of course, Cameron will challenge Moné for the AEW TBS Championship at AEW Grand Slam Australia. And we saw a duel last night on AEW Dynamite. Unhappy with Bandido defeating Brian Keith at AEW Collision, Chris Jericho challenged Bandido to a duel on the February 12th episode of AEW Dynamite. The two men met in the middle of the ring, took 10 paces to the corner, turned, and Keith attacked Bandido. The Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum, made the initial save, brawling with Jericho and Keith outside of the ring. With Bandido alone in the ring, Big Bill came out to collect the bounty. Unfortunately for him, Powerhouse Hobbs hit the ring, and the duo of Hobbs and Bandido laid out Big Bill. Of course, as mentioned, there will be a big match between all three at the upcoming Global Wars event. Now, Ricky Starks, of course, the former AEW World Tag Team Champion, of course, a tag team champion with Big Bill, is now in WWE, specifically in NXT. And Ricky Starks' next planned WWE appearance may have been revealed following his surprise debut on Tuesday's NXT. Moments prior to the main event on this week's episode on the CW, Ricky Starks appeared in the crowd inside the Performance Center just one day after his AEW exit was made official. While uncertainty remains regarding what name Starks will compete under in WWE, we now have a big clue as to when he may show up on WWE television next. As announced by Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling on Twitter, Starks has been pulled from a planned match with Aaron Solo at their event in Beaufort, Georgia this coming Saturday due to circumstances beyond their control. The announcement reads, quote, "Important announcement. Due to circumstances beyond our control, Ricky Starks will not be in attendance on Saturday, February 15th at the Tannery Row House. However, you can still expect the same incredible evening of Georgia's premier star-studded, action-packed, family-friendly, independent professional wrestling that TCW Live has to offer. We will see you at the matches," end quote. Now, interestingly, of course, Saturday, February 15th is also the date of WWE NXT Vengeance Day in Washington, D.C., leading many fans to speculate that WWE pulled Starks so he could appear at the show. As of now, there's no official confirmation that is the case, but of course, if we do get any more details, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. Now, Jey Uso, he won the men's Royal Rumble match. He's set to challenge Gunther at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. But how long was that the plan? Now, Jey Uso's 2025 men's Royal Rumble victory was a true shock to many, with Uso last eliminating John Cena to book his spot at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. On the February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, Uso finally made his decision as to whom he would face at WrestleMania, with Uso going after World Heavyweight Champion Gunther at the Showcase of the Immortals. Despite the shock nature of Uso's Rumble victory and subsequent ascent to the WrestleMania main event picture, a report from Fightful Select suggests it had been in the works for quite some time, with Uso versus Gunther the direction in place since before Saturday night's main event. Uso has faced Gunther for the title before, with the dominant ring general defeating Uso at Saturday night's main event on January 25th. The two have faced off in singles action on two prior occasions, with Gunther winning both bouts in February and May of 2024. The Rumble victory and upcoming Mania main event will be the culmination of a strong year of in-ring work for Uso, with the OG Bloodline member getting over huge in 2024 due to his Yeet catchphrase, with Jey getting a brief run as Intercontinental Champion as well during the past 12 months. Now, Elimination Chamber is on the horizon, and a championship match may be set for the show, with two Elimination Chamber matches set for the upcoming event with championship implications. We will learn a lot about the title scene for WrestleMania at the upcoming Toronto, Canada event. Well, these are the only 2 bouts officially announced for the card. A new report has indicated that a WWE United States Championship match could take place at the show. Per WrestleVotes, there have been rumblings about WWE superstar Shinsuke Nakamura defending his title. WrestleVotes noted the following on Sportskeeda's Backstage Pass Q&A, quote, "I've heard rumblings of a Shinsuke Nakamura title defense. I don't know the opponent, but that's one I've heard could take place at the Skydome." Now, Nakamura won the US Championship from LA Knight at Survivor Series in November 2024. His only televised title defense, also against LA Knight, ended via disqualification on the January 10th episode of SmackDown. Nakamura competed in the 2025 Royal Rumble match with the US champion eliminated by eventual winner Jey Uso. And finally, several matches and segments have been confirmed for AEW Dynamite next week. AEW announced MJF and Hangman Page will meet face-to-face on the February 19th episode of AEW Dynamite. The confrontation comes after the two men brawled through the crowd on the February 12th episode of AEW Dynamite and had to be pulled apart multiple times. Plus, the Ops, that being Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata, will take on the Patriarchy, consisting of Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Kip Sabian. Other matches have yet to be announced for the show, but of course we'll let you know when other matches and segments are confirmed. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.